police shootouts will return in a moment.
24 hours later, Fred Hamilton, who's from Central Ohio, and 2 others are still on the run. 2 of the escapees worked in the prison greenhouse, and that's where they got the shovels. Hamilton's mother lives about 50 miles south of Columbus in Greenfield. Now, she told me tonight that she has not heard anything from her escaped son. I asked Hamilton's mother, Jo, if she would urge her son to turn himself in. She told me she really hasn't thought much about that because Hamilton cut off all contact 5 years ago. Are still on the loose. The Columbus police still on the alert. Those 3 men tunneled under a West Virginia state prison to freedom. The 6-foot, 32-foot long tunnel was filled with concrete today, while authorities, including those here in town, searched for the fugitives. Columbus police got a tip one of them might be hiding out on the west side. A former girlfriend lives in the neighborhood. No sign, though, of any of these fugitives. If you spot Tommy Mullahan, David Williams, or Fred Hamilton, do not approach them. Please call Columbus police.
Deep and 30 feet across. It's now been filled with cement. We're told 2 of the escapees were allowed to work with shovels, even though they had escaped before. 49-year-old Tommy Mullahan, 33-year-old David Williams, and 34-year-old Fred Hamilton. Hamilton is from just up the road in Highland County, Ohio. One of the other escapees, Williams, was reported to have broken into a house 2 miles from the prison to steal a woman's purse. Now, despite the massive search effort, all 3 men are still at large tonight.
Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is putting out a warning tonight for people traveling to the murderers continues. The 3 broke out of the West Virginia Penitentiary last night after digging a tunnel under the prison wall. One man forced his way into a house just 2 miles from the prison this morning and stole a woman's purse. One of the escapees has a girlfriend who lives in Columbus, so officials are keeping an eye on her. 49-year-old Tommy Mullahan, 33-year-old David Williams, and 34-year-old Fred Hamilton were discovered missing during a head count. All 3 were serving life terms. Authorities still have roadblocks surrounding Moundsville while they search for the men.
In a Cleveland plot.
And a good way to pass some time, I take it.
1.7 million. Next on News Channel 5 at 6, a high-tech drug bust in Boone County. We'll tell you how Procter & Gamble is involved in the whole mess.
Plus a search for a murderer who escaped from a prison in West Virginia. He's from our area. Could he be hiding here at home?
News Channel 5 at 6 is next. And about all this in a court of law. Okay, thanks a lot. Remember?
3 convicted murderers who made an incredible escape from a West Virginia prison are still on the loose tonight, and one of them may be heading to our area. The convicts tunneled out of the state pen in Moundsville. One of those inmates is from Highland County, where News Channel 5's Jeff Hirsch went today to find out more about Fred Hamilton, convicted cop killer.
He got involved in drugs out of high school, into college. He got caught up in that in order to support the habit, stealing cars. Then it just grew from there. It snowballed.
Steve Hamilton talking about his brother Fred, one of 3 convicted murderers who escaped from the West Virginia pen in Moundsville. Men dug a tunnel 8 feet down and 30 feet out, which probably took months. Fred Hamilton is from Highland County, and it's possible he may be heading back.
It's like the old adage, they always come home because the water's better, so they come back here, and I think he will show up back here.
For a while, it seemed like Fred Hamilton was something straight out of a storybook, the small-town hero who makes good. He was a 1976 graduate of McLean High School here in Greenfield, and he was one of the best golfers in the state of Ohio. He got a college golf scholarship in West Virginia, but drugs and theft landed him in jail in 1977. He tried then to escape. A police officer was killed.
Everybody would be a threat to him, and anyway, he would kill him without hesitation.
But Steve Hamilton, a fireman in Greenfield, says it was different. He says there was a scuffle when Fred tried to get away, and ricocheting bullets did the damage. He says Fred would never deliberately try to kill.
We're worried that something will get him killed. I don't think Fred is the type to hurt somebody on purpose.
And Steve doubts his brother will try to return to Highland County. He thinks Fred Hamilton will keep running until he gets away or gets caught. Steve also has a message for a brother he still loves, a young man whose promise of youth turned tragic as an adult.
I just tell him to be careful, don't do anything stupid that will get himself killed. I realize he doesn't want to be in prison. Just be careful. If you need to turn yourself in, do it, and be safe. Don't take any unnecessary risk.
Fred Hamilton has already taken a lot of risks. The question now, will his next one be his last? Jeff Hirsch, News Channel 5.
Apparently, as a result of the escape, West Virginia's governor today accepted the resignations of the state's correction commissioner and the parole board chairman.
Well, a guilty verdict